such cases.
Problem? What problem?
One of the killers is usually the nervous sort. The kind who fusses and fidgets and panics and worries till his very face is like a neon sign displaying his guilt.
Well, I certainly hope you don't mean me. Why, I never panic. Nerves up still, steady as a rock. Ah!
You were saying? Hello? Who? He what? Well, there must be some sort of mistake. Yes, by all means, go ahead and schedule. Very well, thank you. Goodbye. Now, that isn't the oddest thing.
What? What thing? What's odd?
That man on the telephone. He said that Tobias had purchased a seaplane, due to be down in the bay tonight, so that he could get to it there tomorrow. Now, why do you think he'd do such a thing?
Perhaps if he flubbed your murder and needed it for your getaway.
But Tobias can't fly a plane.
Maybe you know someone who can, does he?
Only me, but I could hardly do that once he murdered me.
That's true enough. But why did you tell that airplane man to go ahead with his plan?
Well, in case we flubbed up the murder, we could use it for a getaway.
Follow that. Marcia, the police have planes, and their planes have machine guns.
Yes, if you're going to be chasing us in airplanes, if we started the getaway in my car, by the time we got down to the bay and took off, they'd be wasting all sorts of time getting their own planes into the air. And by that time, we'd be long gone, off into the blue.
Marcia, just use your head. Just where on the bay is the plane going to be?
I don't know.
What make is it?
I don't know.
Where would you get the ignition key for it?
I don't know.
And what is its flight range?
Really, Virgil? Do you expect me to be well informed on every last petty detail?
Petty? You don't know where the plane is, what it looks like, how you're going to start it, and how far it will take us. And this is how you plan our getaway?
Well, I suppose my plan does need a little work.
A little work? It's in a major recession.
Well, if you're going to be critical, you could just dine by yourself.
Dinner? Who can think of food at a time like this? We've got to come up with a plan. A solid alibi. Marcia, where are you going?
To have a nap, of course. It's been an absolutely exhausting evening.
But and now, at a time like this, after lying to a policeman, 4 attempted murders, no plan of escape, our entire future in jeopardy, and sucking me into her whole sordid scheme.
Quiet. Not a sound. Nod your head if you promise not to talk. Okay. Where is Mrs. Gilmore?
She went into the bedroom to take a nap.
Well, you just know. After all she's done to me.
Wait a minute. I thought you all were
Dead?
Oh no, of course not. I knew there wasn't any poison in that bottle, in either bottle. But I thought you would all be off in an ambulance by now.
No poison. What do you say?
Wait a minute. First things first. Why are you all back here so quickly? You couldn't have possibly had enough time to get to the hospital and find out you weren't going to die.
That explains it. By the time we were halfway down the street, they had already told me what they had planned to do with Marcia, and it certainly made sense.
And when I got down there, I finally realized that it was only that foul-tasting liqueur that had panicked me. Obviously, I hadn't been poisoned if the poison were totally tasteless.
And when Mrs. Thorne assured me that the doctor bottle had been flushed, I knew I wasn't poisoned.
Which brings us back to you, Virgil. What do you mean you didn't try to poison us?
You sound disappointed.
Now listen, creep, I've given you a lot more leeway than you deserve. I want some answers, and the right answers fast.
Can you keep your voice down? I don't want Marcia to hear us.
Now, Ben, we've been all over this. You can't arrest Mr. Gilmore and Miss DeBoer because they weren't planning to murder his wife. And you can't arrest her because the attempted murdering was only self-defense on her part.
Damn it all. Something illegal is going on here. I just do what?
Yes. Why did you get so panicky and faint when we drank some? You knew it would kill us.
Because I knew it wouldn't kill you. Once you drank the stuff and didn't kill over, Marcia would have known I'd been lying to her, and then the whole ghastly truth would have come out.
What ghastly truth?
I'm not a pharmacist. Never have been. I don't know the least little thing about it either.
Then why did you tell Miss DeBoer you were and let Marcia believe it?
She was so anxious for me to help her. It was the only thing I could think of that might sound like I was in a position to do her some good. I couldn't tell her what I really was.
And just what are you?
A kindergarten teacher.
I think you better explain yourself, Baxter.
Yes. How did you let yourself get dragged into this mess?
It was an adventure. I've never had an adventure. Kindergarten teachers seldom do. I had to be convincing. Marcia gave me an idea for my plan. When she quoted some ad at Christie, it said that everyone at Henry was full of potential combinations that could be poisonous. So I filched a bunch of stuff together to convince her I knew what I was doing. Took it all over to my apartment, left it all on my kitchen table, and just filled up the liqueur bottle with plain water.
Just water?
Well, the poison was supposed to be odorless and tasteless. I thought water would come up to those specifications nicely.
I can see now that all my warnings to Marcia were foolhardy. That all her mystery reading hats off with her brain. That she could for a moment imagine that I, a loving husband many years, would think of doing her.
Say now, wait a moment. Marcia and I eavesdropped on your conversation with her sister. You two even had me convinced Marcia was right.
What do you mean?
You said you were going to take her down to the bay, pretending you found a new craft restaurant. Take her to the end of the pier, raise a champagne bottle, break it across the nose, watch a dog in water, and then come back here for a party.
Oh, but Virgil,
And you said something about straps to hold her in, and something you were going to cement over her head, and...
Oh, dear Tobias, we were. We really were.
Going to murder her?
Saying those things.
You sure sound like murder.
No, it's just that Marcia had the wrong nose.
I don't follow that.
we were going to break the champagne bottle with the nose of Marcia's new birthday present. A seaplane.
Seaplane. Now that explains that phone call.
What phone call?
While you were out, a man called and said the plane was going to be on the bay tonight, and Marcia okayed it.
Oh, damn, they should have about the surprise.
Well, hardly. She thought you wanted the plane to forget it.
Get away from what? We haven't committed a crime.
Marcia didn't know that.
It seems to me the main point is, what are we going to do now?
We are going to teach Marcia a lesson she'll never forget. She wasn't so addicted to reading that mind-blowing junk with the creepy slasher. None of this would ever have happened.
Tobias.
Say, you know, you may be right. She said the book was about some woman whose husband was trying to bump her off.
It's a shame none of us is ready. He used his plot to really give her a scare.
Tobias.
It's a shame none of us had the requisite right of mind. Only an idiot would read that sort of trash.
Tobias!
What?
I've read it.
Oh, of course she has. It's the very first thing she said when she walked in here this evening.
Oh, my precious. How can I ever apologize?
You might not have to. Her mind's brought it already.
Look, the point is I've read it, and I think I know how we can use it to teach Marcia that lesson. About time she learned the difference between fact and fiction.
Amen to that.
So what's your plan?
Well, in the book, the woman's begun to suspect her husband.
Just like Marcia.
She's tried calling the police, but they think she's laughed and won't come.
Just like Marcia.
Now this woman is having a torrid love affair with another man.
I didn't say a word.
So the husband forces the lover to telephone her, so that when she comes creeping out of the bedroom to the telephone, he can come creeping out of the kitchen with a huge butcher knife he's used for all his other killings.
Gee, this is exciting. What happens next?
I know it's a heroine, this little girl. Her grandfather told her that if she was ever in any trouble, she should...
Persis, please. We have enough information.
But what did the grandfather tell her?
Enough.
Sorry.
How? We can't do that. Marcia doesn't have a lover.
You be your lover.
Why me? But I can't.
Why not?
Well, for instance, what would I say to her on the telephone?
Anything that pops into your head.
Such as, all I can think of is nice weather we're having.
The book! Where's the book? You can read the conversation right out of that.
Of course. What a perfect idea. Virgil, you go sit here and do it.
Well, I guess
got us on the roll of the slash.
Not really. I'm not going to get caught up in no slasher
Oh,
roll.
be a sport, Tobias.
Oh, all right, all right. Virgil, get up to your apartment. Everybody else, go hide while I go get that butcher.
Ben,
Yes, honey.
you ever going to date me again?
Yeah.
Then it's legal. Come on, honey.
Oh, come on, man.
Cut that out. Virgil, is that the phone?
Virgil, where are you? Probably out by your false beard. Coming. Hello. Virgil, is that you? Where are you? What? Yes, of course I have a grandfather. Two of them, as a matter of fact. What I was wondering is why you... Huh? Virgil, stop saying that. You're scaring me. It's just like in the creeping slasher. Yes, of course I remember what my grandfather told me to do in times of peril. Virgil, stop saying that. It's just like that part in the book where the heroine doesn't know that just behind her with the huge her husband is... Oh my gosh, that knife, what does it mean?
Free guessing.
No, stop! Let me go!
Make those knots good and tight. I don't want her wiggling while I kill her.
It's just what the husband said in the book.
Save your breath for shrieking.
And that's just what his girlfriend said.
You're doomed, Marcia, doomed. There'll be no match for the razor-sharp blade of my knife.
How many victims have you
She'll be
But Toby, what does this mean?
that must stab you 7 times, of course. The second victim twice,
Third victim thrice.
and so on and so on.
Oh, shucks.
Shots?
Well, I always wondered what came after Price. Is it Price or Price?
Now cut that out. This is serious.
Sorry.
We're wasting time. Start that stabbing.
Very well.
What, Toby? 7 times?
Of course. It's a behavior pattern for the police to detect. Of course, they won't figure it out until about the 10th victim or so.
1 murder, 1 stabs. 2 murders, 2 stabs. And the police still haven't decided if there's any connection between them all.
Why are the police always so infernally stupid?
Prepare to die.
Slasher said.
Damn it all. What does he say?
So your radiant beauty will be lying here in 7 pieces.
You gotta be kidding. That's so silly.
But all of Antoine's great books are silly.
They are?
Of course they are. Why do you think I read them?
But that's such lousy arithmetic. If I slash 7 times, that would leave 8 pieces.
It will?
Picture Marcia as a loaf of bread. If I slash you once, it's in 2 pieces. If I slash the second time on one of the 2 pieces, it's in 3 pieces. If I slash the third time,
Toby, not so fast.
what's the matter?
I'm still trying to picture Marcia with a loaf of bread.
Persis.
She told you the books were silly.
Well, silly or not, you're going to die. Do you hear? Die.
7 times.
Now cut that out.
Toby, if I must die, would you do me one last favor?
What favor?
Would you let me do what my grandfather always told me to do in times of peril?
Which grandfather?
Look in the book.
Oh, that guy. Okay. What did your grandfather tell you in time of peril?
Now I lay me down to sleep. Toby, you're not
Now, you ready to die?
No.
Soon your radiant beauty will be lying there in 7 pieces. Take your clothes off! What? I mean, get clothes off! What? Wait a minute, I'll get this right. Oh, of course. Freeze! I said freeze! Sorry, I'm new at this. What's the matter, Virgil? You told me to read the book, and what it said to do, I'm doing it.
Well, stop it. Stop it this instant. What? Well, I haven't finished reading it yet.
And you're not going to either. As soon as I get through with you.
Wait.
What?
Don't kill me.
Why not?
Because we have so much to live for.
Not anymore.
I wish someone would give me a cue. Do I shoot him or not?
Well, actually, we mustn't spoil the ending for Rich Bias.
But damn it all! Well, Virgil's here now, and he's gonna shoot you dead, I have no doubt. Then I can get back to my book.
Marcia, do you still intend to finish reading that book?
Of course. Don't you?
Damn it, of course I do.
So do I. Excuse me, I have to get to that book.
By the way, Virgil, that was nice work picking up for that cue.
I thought so.
Wait a minute, you didn't pop in on cue.
Of course I did. Why do you think I made you read the slasher's line exactly as written?
Virgil would never pick up on a paraphrase.
Well, he might have, though.
A kindergarten teacher? Don't be silly, Mother.
Wait a minute. You knew he wasn't a pharmacist?
Of course I did, darling. Do you think I'd let a real pharmacist go off and mix up a batch of poison? You might have been killed.
And you knew it wasn't real poison.
Of course I did. I love my husband and have no intentions of murdering him.
Excuse me, Mrs. Gilmore, but how did you know Mr. Bouncer wasn't a pharmacist?
Well, I've seen him leaving for work in the morning.
And?
I ask you, would a real pharmacist carry a Sesame Street lunchbox?
Wait a second. I thought you thought persons and I were fighting against your life and...
Oh, I did at first, darling. I mean, the things you two were saying. But the moment I got a good look at her, when she came out of there, with her hair all fluffed up and her coat off, I knew it couldn't be true.
Why not?
Darling, that woman just is not your type.
Oh, what sort of woman is my type?
My type, of course.
Got me there.
Because it have a happy ending.
Well, actually,
Stop. I want to finish it for myself.
Marcia, didn't you still intend to finish reading that book?
Don't you?
Of course I do.
Virgil, bring it along into the dining room. You can read it aloud to us while we eat.
Yeah, come on, Ben, let's start. Let's go.
There's enough food to go around. You guys sit down with us as long as you don't drink the rest of my liquor.
Sure is enough to go around.
Of course, yeah, sure.
Good, we'll get to hear that book yourself. Come on, Ben.
I don't know about that. If I have to read aloud during dinner, I won't get a chance to eat.
Cold soup makes you nauseous anyhow.
That's true enough, I guess.
I'll just eat fast and get down to the interior of that seaplane.
Oh, Persis, concerning the events of this evening and all that you've been to, I want you to know that I intend to double your fee.
Bye-bye. Considering the events of this evening, I intend to triple it.
Shall we, Garrett?
Of course, I am simply starving. So am I.
Got all about that thing.
Oh, here too. I know. Especially my coat. Yeah.
Wonder who that could be now.
I don't know.
Hello? Yes, this is he. Police? She said, what? No, officer, I assure you. I love my wife very much, and I have absolutely no intention of murdering her tonight or any night. No one not cross my heart and hope to die. Happy birthday, son.
And many happy returns.
You gotta be kidding.
to even expand and make the crowd even larger. I really enjoyed working with the kids. We had a great time. I think it was an experience for everyone. I appreciate everyone's help. There's so many people, it's hard to name everyone, but I have to especially mention a few people. We had a problem with our set, and we didn't get it done till last minute. I had lunch the other day with Lisa Contact. I said, Lisa, I don't know what I'm going to do. We don't have this set ready. We can't even have a dress rehearsal. She said, don't worry. She got on the phone, called up her cousin Michael Borosco, and Mike Benson-Hopper, and Janet Nolfi, Teresa Matisse. We had some other people come in, Angel Olsen, and those people came in last minute to help us. And I really appreciate it because they helped us get it together at the end, and that's what really counts. But especially, there were so many other kids that were on the group, that were on the crew, that were on props and so forth. There were a lot of help. I want to especially thank Kimmy Kometz, who was my student director. She had a rather trying job because she had to continuously follow the script, which can become rather boring when you've gone through it as many times as we had. And she stuck right through it right to the very end, so I thank her for all of her help. Again, thank you so much for coming and hope to see you again next year.